Hey guys, this is Jeff here with True Crime Myths, Legends, and more. And I would just wanted to do a quick update and also do another documentary review. But I just wanted to let you guys know that sorry that I missed this last Tuesday, our live episode recapping our previous episode with Andrew Dodge. But I had an OT appointment, a physical therapy appointment, and a doctor's appointment from about 9 o'clock in the morning until about 2:30, and I literally came home and slept for 4 hours after that appointment. So it was, you know, the podcast itself doesn't really wear me out. But the up and moving around and driving back and forth, and I'm still not cleared to drive yet. So, going back and forth to the doctor's office and moving around the hospital and then doing everything that they have me doing is pretty taxing. So sadly, I got home and I was just wiped out on Tuesday and was not able to get on the live. So I apologize for that, but I wanted to do a documentary review to kind of make up for that and to have some stuff. And we have some incredible episodes coming up the next 2 weeks that have already been filmed. I actually filmed those last week, maybe one of them this week, but I filmed those in the last 2 weeks, and they're excellent. We have one with our anonymous guest that talks about a serial killer that they worked for. And then I also have the author of The Disclosure Paradox coming up the 2 weeks after that, Paul Viquette. And so he is on the podcast talking about government cover-ups and UFOs and all kinds of things. Fascinating episode. So I know that you guys will enjoy those. Those are coming up. I've got a lot of episodes that are in the works right now, and wanted to do this documentary review. So a couple years ago, there was an event that happened in true crime, and my wife was really into this case. I was not initially. I didn't even know about it, and she followed it and probably still knows more than I do about the case. It was really up her alley, and she is not like super into true crime like I am. But it was the Gabby Petito case, and all of us remember that. But she was following Gabby on TikTok for all the van life stuff that she was doing. And so, she was really interested, and we've continued to actually talk about the possibility of doing that ourselves, and, being able to travel to conventions and things like that way. But anyway, she was following that pretty early on. So when all of this happened, it was quite a shock to her, and she followed the case pretty closely. I didn't get involved until the end when Brian Laundrie was on the run, and there was this nationwide manhunt is really when I got involved and got interested in the case. But the whole time she was telling me about it, I'm like, you need to pay attention to this. This is crazy. And I did not initially. She was the one that was giving me all the information. However, American Murders, Gabby Petito, is on Netflix. Came out, I don't know, I think in February of this year, of 2025, so pretty recently. But I just wanted to give a quick review on it. I thought it was an excellent documentary. I thought they did a really good job of really breaking down all the information. So you have episode 1 is entitled "We Bought a Van," and they really go back and they go through all of the the TikTok stuff and everything, showing this whole process of them building this van and deciding to embark on this, van life together. And, this early on before it became like really a big thing. It's kind of a big thing now. But Gabby decides that she wants to document this whole thing on social media. However, they also they do a lot of interviews with family members, and Gabby narrates some of it herself. They use AI to do that. but she narrates it in some of her diary entries and things like that. So it's interesting to see what they revealed publicly to the people through social media and what was actually going on in their lives. So, and there is a stark contrast between the two of those. And so it's really interesting to see what was happening and how it was happening and, some of the disagreements and stuff that they were having that may have built up to what happens later on. But it's really really insightful in showing some of the difficulties in their relationship, some of the struggles that they were going through, and this very idealistic thought that being able to go out on the road together might help that. And what it seems to have done is compound that. And obviously, all this stuff happens from that. Episode 2 is entitled "Where is Gabby?" And this is all of the stuff that leads up to her disappearance. And so this is, they go through in great detail the police video where they're stopped and they're having an argument, and there's this idea of who started the fight, who smacked who, and why does this person have a mark on their face and this person has scratches. And there's this very very strange thing that happens there in Moab, Utah, and through the body cam footage shows pretty much all of it. And but it also shows very very strange happenings. And why did the police decide to do this? Why did they allow them to leave? Why did they allow Brian Laundrie to have the van? Why did this all happen? So there's a lot of speculation, and then it really goes into discussing how the public took all of that stuff. So they look into all of the reports and things after that, and what all went into that as the public is now searching for Gabby because she's now missing, and the van is now back in his hometown. And like, how did that happen? Where is she at? Why did she leave? Why did she give him the van? All of these crazy questions that were all brought up in the media, and they discuss all of that and the search for Gabby. And then episode 3 is called "Burn After Reading." They detail all of the findings there at the scene, and finding Gabby's body in Wyoming's Teton National Forest, and they detailed the investigation that followed all of that. And then they really, really jump down the rabbit hole of talking about, what involvement Brian Laundrie's family had in his, escape and ultimate, whether you believe that it was suicide or that, whatever. And they really get into detail about that. And then it also goes into detail about the legal actions that Gabby's family took after that to go after the Laundrie family because of what they had done. So there's one thing that I felt like the documentary really lacked, even though it did a good job and everything else. I felt like they should have gone through in more detail the notes that Brian Laundrie left at the scene, because there is, of course, the notepad that he wrote on and basically wrote a confession letter, right? And so I think that notepad, because we don't have his words other than that. We don't have, an interview done with him because he went and, walked out into the forest and, actually into the swamp and, killed himself, or, somebody killed him, or he, faked his death, or whatever you believe. They postulate a bunch of that stuff there. But the truth is, we need to know why and what the circumstances were around the death of Gabby. And of course, in that letter, he talks about, that she had taken a fall, that she was dying, and that he put her out of her misery, basically. That it was a mercy killing, is how he describes it. Now, how true that is with the forensic evidence that was actually there is up for debate, because we don't know the truth. There's a lot of ideas. There's a lot of, things that people believe about that. But It is for sure that he killed her. Now, why he did that, if it was a mercy killing or something else, or they got into an argument and he hit her over the head with a rock or whatever, I don't know that we will ever know the truth of that. Now, of course, it's very strange that they walk out into the swamp, that the parents take him out there, and they can't find him. Nobody knows where he's at. And then one day they decide to go out there, and within 15 minutes, the parents find the body, or not the body, the skull of Brian Laundrie, and they identify him from that. And so it's like the ending of this is very, very sketchy. So there's still a lot of questions and a lot of postulation. Was it, him faking his death? Did the family kill him? Did he actually commit suicide? And there's all these ideas that the gators and stuff took parts of the body, and which is plausible, but it's a crazy ending, or current ending, to this whole story. So it makes it very, very interesting. But in the documentary, they use a lot of voice cloning technology through AI to get Gabby's voice to narrate things. They also use a lot of authentic footage, and whether it's interviews with family members or actual footage that they had posted on their social media, or footage from the police, they use all of that. So it's really interesting. They interview Gabby's mom, her stepfather, her father, her stepmother, Gabby's brother, Gabby's ex-boyfriend, some of her close friends. So there's a lot of interviews with all of these different people that are really involved and know the couple really well. So you get to see that side of it. Again, you get to see a lot of the legal stuff that happens afterwards. They definitely highlight a bunch of the domestic violence issues that may or may not have been going on between Brian and Gabby. It again goes into the law enforcement's response, which some people feel was not appropriate. And you can judge for yourself whether you think it was appropriate or not. And then, they cover the wrongful death lawsuit filed against Gabby's parents, because the the Petitos believed that they knew that Gabby was dead, and they tried to conceal it and tried to give time for their kid to get away. And so, this documentary is really, really great for giving a lot of that information. So if you haven't checked it out, or you've been curious about the case itself and wanted more detail, it is a great source of information. They do a really good job. But search out some of that stuff about his confession letter, because that sheds some more light on everything that happened there, if you're wondering why. And I don't think that they do a great job of covering that in the documentary, but it is out there. So check it out and see what you think. Comment below your thoughts on this case specifically. Tell us what you thought about the documentary if you've watched it. But yeah, engage and let us know what you think about all of that. If you think Brian Laundrie is still alive out there somewhere, or if you think that he is dead and gone and the Gators got him. Do you think that his parents killed him? Let us know what you think, because I am, the jury is kind of still out on this one. I think he's probably dead. I think that he probably killed himself. But I don't know. There's a lot of, it's very unknown at this point. I think the Laundrie family should go down for what they did. I think that they are culpable for concealing this. And so, yeah, if you guys have any updates, post those below, and let us know what you know. And we will talk to you soon. I'll get you another one of these reviews soon. Talk to you guys later. Bye.